Coming up on Inside the High School Game, region play is heating up. Highlights of a 3A throwdown between Wooddale and Melrose. Elsewhere, Division II clash, the Purple Wave and Briarcrest battle to the end, while White Station and Central open 6A region play. These highlights plus our one-on-one interview with a Primetime Performer of the Week and our Primetime game in girls soccer. It's all next on the Memphis Sports Zone's Inside the High School Game. Inside the High School Game brought to you by Reeves Law Firm. Let us be your voice. And by Uncle Lou's Fried Chicken. If the Colonel had his recipe, he would have been a general. Now, let's get inside the High School Game. Inside the High School Game begins with a good cause, breast cancer awareness at the fairgrounds. White Station hosting Central. Spartans with a halftime lead, and they were on the march for more. Third quarter, Dwight Holmes the second. On his way to a big game, found Shamari Covington. Later in the drive, Holmes found another Spartan, Nick Jeffries, a tight end. The great grab, be kind, rewind. That's fire. White Station took a 13-0 lead. And the offense had more different playmakers making a difference in this one. Brandon Harris, direct snap, and he finds plenty of running room. First down and much more for the Spartans. For a quarter, they're going back to the end zone. Dwight Holmes had a hand in all three White Station touchdowns. He gets free for this one. Spartans the impressive win, blanking Central 20-0. White Station now 5-2 on the season. Another big region game coming up next week right back there at the fairgrounds when they play host to Whitehaven. Here's a look at some of your other 6A scores from around the area. Collierville upends Cordova in region play. Houston knocks out Bartlett behind another big game from Lincoln Perry, over 200 yards on the ground. Arlington takes down Brighton, and Germantown falls on the road at Henry County. Let's go to the private schools. Region play between Briarcrest and CBHS. Saints coming in undefeated. Purple Wave playing their best football coming in, and this will live up to the hype. Christian Brothers won a close game last year. Close again this year. A few big plays will win it, and the Saints made the most. They led 7-3 at the half. Jabari Small over 100 yards, 2 big touchdowns. Briarcrest moving to 7-0 with a 21-17 win. Let's go to 3A now for another big region game. Melrose playing host to Wooddale for homecoming. Both teams unbeaten in region play. This one will give the winner a huge leg up when it came to taking home the region title. It was all defense early on. Both teams ready for a hard-fought game. Neither able to score in the first quarter. Later in the second, Melrose finally starting to move the ball. A few pass plays put the Golden Wildcats in Cardinal territory, but the first big mistake came on this play. Perhaps a miscommunication with the quarterback and the receiver, and Wooddale's Terinsky Rogers there to take advantage. The interception stopped Melrose's momentum, and the Wooddale offense picked it up. John Jones took it up with Rodney Bridges as time ran down in the first half. With just under 10 seconds to go, Jones found Bridges again, this time for the touchdown. Wooddale taking control of the regional play, 13-0 the final. Let's check out some of your other region scores. In 5A, Mumford wins in overtime against Ridgeway. Kirby beat up on Kingsbury. And 2A, Fairleigh on the way to a third straight undefeated season in the region. Mitchell beat Manassas on Thursday, and Douglas beat Hillcrest on Friday. And 1A, Freedom Prep still rolling. East having a nice season. They knock off Oak Haven. Memphis Business got its first win. They beat Bluff City. BTW blanks Mace 12-0, and in 4A, Fayette Ware defeats Bolton, while Millington runs past Craigmont 41-8. Another big night for Trojans quarterback Tommy Clifton. He came into that ball game as our Primetime Performer of the Week. After a monster game against FACS, Millington quarterback Tommy Clifton won the fan vote for Primetime Performer of the Week. His rushing numbers staggering, especially for a quarterback. 299 yards and 6 touchdowns. What is it about the running game that you like so much?
I like the contact. It sounds different coming from a quarterback, but me personally, my whole life, I've liked the contact. I like running through people, jumping over people, run around them if I have to.
Tommy's big game was also the best individual performance in the city this year, the most single-game rushing yards and touchdowns.
I didn't even really realize how big of a game that he had put up until I was talking to our local reporter from the Millington Star afterwards, and he said that he'd put up 6 touchdowns, and I was like, goodness gracious, that's probably some kind of record around here, even with our tailbacks who put up a lot of yards and numbers over the years.
The impressive stat line was just one of many of Clifton's outstanding performances this season, and he's recently received more recruiting interest. He's focused on leading the Trojans to a strong finish. What do you want to accomplish most this year?
Just back-to-back district champions, and beyond that, the main goal obviously is, state, just leading my guys as best I can and leading them to as far as we can go in the playoffs.
All right, congratulations to Tommy. He had another good game this past Friday against Craigmont, over 100 yards rushing and passing in a Trojan victory. But as far as the most yards in a single game this season, a young man at Tipton Rosemont just surpassed that mark. Mac Fullen, 427 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. The TRA's win Friday. The Primetime Performer of the Week poll is available on Twitter now. Get your vote on for this week's Primetime Performer. And speaking of Primetime, shout out to the Lady Saints of Briarcrest Soccer. They did what no other team has done this season. They defeated the Houston Lady Mustangs. Big-time effort. 2 tremendous goals, one from Sarah Strong on the header, and this rocket off the foot of Sydney Ham helped Briarcrest to a 2-1 win. Houston came into the week undefeated and ranked in the top 10 in the country. They actually moved up to 3rd in the country right before this game, so a huge win that has Briarcrest confident headed to the postseason.
And we set this week on purpose, and our girls thought we were crazy. We needed 2 hard back-to-back games because at state, you play your semifinal on Thursday, you turn around and you play your final on Friday. So we did it with Agnes last night, Houston tonight, just to show them that they've got the fight and they've got the ability to do it. We want to win state, and everything like this is what gets us there. Teams like that.
Girls soccer playoffs coming up soon. Both Briarcrest and Houston with great chances to bring home state titles. That's going to wrap it up for another week of Inside the High School Game. As we leave you, check out the latest football Grade A Power Poll and more scores for Week 7. We'll see you next time right here, Inside the High School Game.